I just wanted to add a little bit of detail to the conclusion video. Well, the initial conclusion video of Draft Science's radar jamming theory type experiment thing. You know, the one with those two horns there. Can you see it? Yes, in the two green horns. Blah 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 blah. In the video, I showed you, first of all, I blocked up one and it came at 33 dBm.
I keep forgetting to say it's minus. All these are minus. The higher the number, the smaller the amount when it's a minus dBm. Sorry. Please take that and bear that in mind.
First of all, I blocked up one and it came at 33 dBm. Then blocked up the other one, 33 dBm for that as well. Unblocked them, measured the interference at the central maxima. About 27 dBm. In other words, I tried to explain, hopefully it was clear, that's a 6 dBm or 6 dB gain. Yeah, in other words, a quadrupling, because 3 dB gain is a doubling, yeah? It's virtually a doubling of the intensity. 6 dB is doubling again, in other words, a quadrupling. So going from 33 dBm to 27 dBm, sorry, minus, I keep forgetting to put the minus on the front. Minus 33 dBm to minus 27 dBm. That's a 6 dB gain. 6 dBm gain. So that's in line with the explanation of Walter Lewin's about the 4 times intensity business. Blah 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 blah. But it's worth noting. It's worth, just in case anybody thinks that this is unusual to just, you know, electromagnetic spectrum. It's not. Because I also have a video, and I just don't have time to dig it out right now, but I did waste a month of my life doing the same experiment with sound waves, where that's exactly the same result. You know, the central maxima in sound interference, actual waves, is 4 times the intensity. Now, we shouldn't be too surprised about that, because they do say that the relationship between the amplitude of a wave is the energy in a wave is proportional to square of the amplitude. That's it, yeah. So if the amplitude doubles, then the energy in it has to have quadrupled. If you're measuring on a VU meter or whatever it's sound, it can't go up 3 dB. You can't possibly have the amplitude of a sound wave doubling in height and yet the energy only going up 2 times. That doesn't make sense. It sounds logical, but it isn't. It has to go up 4 times. That's the way all waves with sounds how it work. For people who don't dispute that electromagnetic spectrum radiation is actually waves, they would argue, say, well, there's your evidence. That's another piece of evidence that same thing happens to light waves, microwaves, as happens to sound waves and water waves, etc. I have my own arguments against that, but that can wait a little short while. You need to see some evidence, really. It's pointless me talking about things when I've not shown you. When I can dig out the video I did upstairs in my little so-called anechoic chamber. It's hard creating an anechoic chamber in your large bedroom. You'd be surprised how much duvet material and professional sound insulation material and fiberglass insulation and rock wool. It's surprising how much that stuff you can get in one room just to try and damp any reflections at all. Your own body can get in the way, so I forget what I was wearing to stop the reflections of my body, because you don't want any reflections. That upsets the experiment. But when you do it to a reasonably high standard, and measure it as accurate as you can, which is difficult, which is why it took a month really setting up. It's quite difficult. But when you do it, it's worth the effort, because then you then have the evidence right in front of you, undeniable evidence, that all you've done is added up 2 waves, constructively interfere 2 waves, and the intensity has quadrupled. Now, the pretty obvious conclusion any rational person is going to come to from that is that extra energy simply comes from the destructive interference part. And I'm quite sure that most scientists, physicists, they know there's no real destructive interference. It's just a bit of a myth. It's a false understanding by Thomas Young back in 1801 or whenever it was he came up with this idea. It doesn't happen in any wave phenomena or electrical phenomena. Yeah, that. It doesn't happen in electromagnetic waves. See, I just hate saying waves, because I'm not entirely convinced it is waves. Which makes me look like, oh, fucking crank, you know what I mean? Don't believe in God, you know what I mean? Well, I don't. There's too much evidence to say that it isn't waves, electromagnetic spectrum radiation. It does behave significantly differently. A minute ago I verified, I'm not being honest about it, that it does behave the same as wave phenomena in that respect, of a quadrupling of the intensity where there's constructive interference. But I don't accept that it's constructive interference by the explanation that's been so far given. I have my own explanation, which makes a lot more sense, but it's a bit complicated. It's not mega complicated, but it's more complicated than I can deal with just chatting about it. You need to see just a few little demonstrations, so you can then say, oh, yeah. Now you come to mention it. There is a better explanation than one, and that then explains all those little differences that they say, oh, stop spoiling it for everybody by pointing out that this problem, that problem, oh, these are minor problems. We have explanations for all these problems. Well, they aren't explanations; they're excuses, really. So, without making excuses, if you just listen to me, listen to Uncle Steve. It sounds bad, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's just a theory. It's just an idea. No, it's not a theory, is it? That would be official, wouldn't it? No, it's a hypothesis. It's just an idea. This fucking stupid old toothless bloke and bone. But I could be wrong. And I probably am. I've said it before, because I've been wrong before, and I suppose most of people like me, most of us are wrong. But then again, so are them fuckers, so are them fucking idiots who decide to wrap public buildings, buildings housing families in fucking flammable material. Those experts that say, oh, that'll be alright, it's not going to catch fire, it's on the outside. And then we have all the fucking tragedy out in last year, Grenfell Tower. I'm not joking about it, by the way. I don't mean to make light of it. Absolute tragedy, fucking heartbreaking. But I'm just pointing to the fact that experts don't necessarily know everything they claim to know. I mean, I don't know how many people know just how many cathedrals actually fell down in the early days of cathedral building. The ones that stayed up are the ones that they didn't know what they were doing, really. Say, well, that one fell down, and the fucking 10 others we've built lately fell down. So, let's start making the walls thicker. You know what I mean? Or let's stop fucking having a massive expansive arch. We need to make them stronger. But in them days they would have been the experts, and I have no doubt there'd been somebody back in the old days saying, "Oh, it fell because God didn't approve of it." I don't know. So I've gone off at quite a number of tangents there, haven't I? And I do apologise, but anyway, stay tuned and all that crap, No, don't subscribe. Just if you run into me again, have a listen now and then, because I don't really want loads of fucking subscribers. That's fucking pressure, isn't it? Imagine if you got 1 million subscribers, that'd be fucking awful, wouldn't it? Jesus, all I want to do is chat to 1 or 2 people who are interested in the same thing as me. Now I've got fucking 1 million fuckers saying, like on Life with Brian, do you remember? When the poor guy has to come out and say that, you're all individuals. Yes, we're all individuals. If you don't know what I'm on about, go and watch the film The Life of Brian, Monty Python, from about the 1980s or whenever it came out. It's all about the fucking idiocy, the stupidity of the average person, really, I suppose, having to have a leader and following whatever cunt goes around saying, follow me, because that happens, doesn't it? That happens in this country, in America, I suppose every country in the world. The average guy in the street, blah, blah, blah. He wants somebody to follow, doesn't he? He needs a leader. Well, don't let it be fucking me, please. You don't need a leader. You're all individuals. Yes, we're all individuals. I'm not. You got to watch the film to know what the fuck I'm on about. You've got to work it out for yourselves. Yes, we've all got to work it out for ourselves. Don't follow me. Don't follow anybody. That's right, don't follow you. All the crowd, they're just repeating whatever he fucking says, and they're not getting the point. He's saying, think for your fucking selves, and they're all saying, yes, we've all got to think for ourselves. They fucking shout it in unison, and it's just dead funny. Beggeth Dicketh. Anybody here who finds the name Beggeth Dicketh? Anyway, shut up. Sorry. Bye.